The year was 2157. Humans had built homes on Mars, Europa, and even on planets around other stars. The farthest human settlement was called New Haven, located on a planet orbiting Proxima Centauri. It was mankind's pride, proof that humans could live among the stars. Captain Laura Bennett stood on the bridge of her ship, the U.S. Mercy. She was a tall woman with short brown hair and eyes that had seen too much suffering. The U.S. Mercy was not a warship. It carried doctors, medicine, and supplies to help people in trouble. Laura read the message again. New Haven was in danger. A massive earthquake had destroyed much of the colony. Life support systems were failing. Without help, thousands would die. "How bad is it?" asked Commander Eric Daniels as he joined her on the bridge. Eric was a former Navy SEAL with broad shoulders and a scar across his left cheek. Despite his tough appearance, he was known for his compassion. "Bad," Laura replied. "They need everything we can bring. Medical supplies, engineers, food." Laura contacted Earth Command. The face of Admiral Gregory Powell appeared on the screen. He was an older man with gray hair and a steady gaze that inspired confidence. "Captain Bennett," he said, "I've seen the reports from New Haven. I'm authorizing a full rescue convoy. You'll lead 5 ships. Your mission is to reach New Haven and save as many lives as possible." "Yes, sir," Laura replied. "We'll leave immediately." Throughout the next day, the U.S. Mercy was loaded with supplies. Doctors checked medical equipment. Engineers prepared repair tools. Everyone worked without rest, knowing that lives depended on their speed. Dr. Paul Martinez supervised the loading of the medical bay. Paul had lost his wife and daughter 3 years ago when another colony faced disaster. Since then, he had devoted himself to saving others. His hands were steady as he checked each medicine container. "Will we have enough?" asked a young nurse. "We have to," Paul answered simply. Commander Eric organized the rescue teams. Each person had specific duties. Some would repair life support systems. Others would treat the injured. Some would distribute food and water. "Remember," Eric told them during the final briefing, "when we arrive, these people will have been waiting for weeks. They'll be scared and hurting. Our job is to bring them more than supplies. We bring hope." The 5 ships of the rescue convoy gathered in Earth orbit. Besides the U.S. Mercy, there were 2 supply vessels, an engineering ship, and a transport vessel that would help evacuate the most seriously injured colonists. Laura stood on her bridge as the final preparations were made. She addressed her crew one last time before departure. "This mission is why we exist," she said. "The people of New Haven are our brothers and sisters. They face death millions of miles from home. We will not let them face it alone." The convoy departed Earth, accelerating toward the warp gate that would begin their journey to Proxima Centauri. The massive ring-shaped structure glowed with blue energy as it prepared to create a pathway through space. On the observation deck, Paul Martinez watched Earth grow smaller. He thought of the people waiting at New Haven, wondering if help would arrive in time. He had been too late to save his family. He would not be too late again. The ships entered the warp gate one by one, disappearing in flashes of light. The journey would take 3 weeks even with the warp technology. The crew settled into their routines, checking and rechecking their equipment and plans. None of them knew that this mission of mercy would change humanity's future forever. None of them suspected that their compassion would lead them into humanity's first interstellar war. As they traveled through the warp tunnel toward New Haven, they were simply people trying to help other people. They were 3 days into their journey when Samantha Weiss, the communications officer, detected something unusual, a signal that didn't match any known human transmission. "Captain," she called to Laura, "I think you should see this." The first contact between humanity and an alien species was about to occur, and it would not be peaceful. The strange signal grew stronger as the convoy continued through space. Everyone on the bridge of the U.S. Mercy gathered around Samantha's screen. The pattern pulsed in blue and green waves that didn't match any known human code. Could it be interference? Laura asked. Samantha shook her head. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. No, Captain. This is deliberate. Someone is sending this signal. The ship's AI system, AI, analyzed the transmission. Captain Bennett, the signal contains mathematical sequences. They appear to be a form of communication. The crew fell silent. For decades, humans had searched the stars for signs of other intelligent life. Now, during a rescue mission, they had found it. Send a response, Laura ordered. Use basic mathematical sequences. Show them we understand. For hours, they exchanged simple signals with the unknown sender. Then the view screen showed something that made everyone gasp. A massive ship appeared in the distance. It was unlike any human vessel. Its dark hull seemed to swallow light rather than reflect it. It's huge, Eric whispered. His military training made him cautious. At least 3 times our size. Laura opened a channel to Admiral Powell on Earth. When his face appeared, she could see he was already reviewing the data they had sent. Captain, this is an historic moment, Powell said. But remember your primary mission. The people of New Haven are still waiting. Yes, sir, Laura replied. What are your orders regarding the alien vessel? Attempt peaceful contact while continuing to New Haven. We're sending specialists to join you, but you're authorized to proceed. Araya decoded more of the alien signal. Captain, they've sent us coordinates. I believe they want to meet. Laura made a difficult decision. She would send a small team to meet the aliens while the convoy continued toward New Haven. Commander Eric Daniels would lead the mission, accompanied by Dr. Paul Martinez and Lieutenant Olivia Grant, who specialized in languages. Be careful, Laura told them as they prepared to board the shuttle. We don't know anything about them. Don't worry, Eric said with a smile. We'll just say hello and catch up with you later. The small shuttle departed from the U.S. Mercy and headed toward the coordinates provided by the aliens. The rest of the convoy continued on its course to New Haven, now just 2 weeks away. Olivia studied the alien signals during the journey. These patterns suggest a highly logical thought process, she told Eric and Paul. They think in mathematical terms. Paul looked out the viewport at the stars. I wonder what they look like, what their world is like. We're about to find out, Eric said as they approached the meeting point. Without warning, 3 smaller alien ships appeared from behind a nearby asteroid. Their design matched the larger vessel with the same light-absorbing material. This wasn't in the coordinates, Olivia said, suddenly nervous. Eric tried to send a greeting signal. We come in peace. We are on a medical mission. The alien vessels moved closer. No response came to their messages. Something's wrong, Paul said. A bright beam of energy shot from the lead alien ship. It struck the shuttle with tremendous force. Alarms blared as systems failed. They're attacking us, Eric shouted, trying to evade. Why are they attacking? Back on the U.S. Mercy, Laura watched in horror as her sensors showed the shuttle being hit. Before she could react, the large alien ship fired on the convoy. 2 supply ships were struck immediately. Return fire, Laura ordered, but it was too late. The U.S. Mercy rocked as it was hit multiple times. Lieutenant Kevin Parker rushed to Laura's side as she was thrown from her chair. Blood ran down her face from a deep cut. Captain's injured, he called. Medical team to the bridge. As medics took Laura away, Kevin found himself in command of a damaged ship under attack. Most of the bridge crew were injured or dead. The aliens continued firing. Emergency warp. Get us out of here, Kevin ordered. The surviving ships of the convoy activated their emergency drives and disappeared into warp space, leaving behind their destroyed companions and any hope of a peaceful first contact. On Earth, Admiral Powell received the devastating news, an unprovoked attack on a clearly marked medical mission. Hundreds dead. The aliens had fired on a rescue convoy. Earth would not let this stand. The remaining ships of the rescue convoy limped back to Earth. The U.S. Mercy had severe damage to its engines and hull. Many crew members were dead or injured. Captain Laura Bennett was in the medical bay, fighting for her life. Lieutenant Kevin Parker stood before the United Earth government in Washington, D.C. His uniform was still stained with blood. He had not slept in 3 days. They gave no warning, Kevin told the grim-faced leaders. We tried to communicate peacefully. They responded with weapons. President Catherine Landry sat at the center of the horseshoe-shaped table. She was a tall woman with silver hair and eyes that had seen many crises during her time in office, but never anything like this. And the people we sent to meet them? She asked quietly. All lost, Kevin replied. Commander Daniels, Dr. Martinez, Lieutenant Grant, all dead. The shuttle was destroyed with no survivors. The room fell silent. On large screens behind Kevin, images from the attack played in a loop. The sudden appearance of the alien ships, the first deadly blast, the destruction of 2 supply vessels. President Landry stood up and walked to the window. Outside, crowds had gathered. News of the attack had spread quickly. People were angry, scared, and demanding action. And New Haven? Asked a council member. Still waiting for help, Kevin said. Their situation grows worse every day. In the Pentagon, military leaders were already planning a response. General Frank Donovan spread maps of space across a large table. Admiral Alice Kelly, head of Earth Fleet Command, studied sensor data from the attack. Here, she said, pointing to a section of data. During the brief battle, our sensors detected a weakness in their ships. Their sensor systems seem vulnerable to certain frequencies. General Donovan nodded. Can we use that? Yes, Admiral Kelly replied. If we modify our weapons systems, we might be able to blind them temporarily. At NASA's Advanced Propulsion Laboratory, Dr. William Blackwood received urgent orders. His team would work day and night to modify Earth's weapons based on Admiral Kelly's discovery. We need these modifications on every ship in the fleet, Dr. Blackwood told his engineers. No delays. People are dying. Meanwhile, Major Lisa Rodriguez selected soldiers for a special operations team. If they found the aliens on the ground, her team would be ready. We train for every possible scenario, she told her troops. We don't know what these beings look like or how they fight. Be prepared for anything. Back in the White House, President Landry faced the most difficult decision of her career. Some advisors urged caution and further attempts at communication. Others wanted immediate military action. They attacked a medical mission, argued Secretary of Defense Harold Wright. This was not a misunderstanding. They targeted our doctors and supplies meant for suffering colonists. President Landry returned to her seat at the council table. The room grew quiet as she prepared to speak. Throughout human history, she began, we have tried to be a species of peace. Even when we spread to the stars, we sought to build rather than destroy. She touched a control, and the screen showed images of the New Haven colony before the earthquake. Families, children, a community trying to build a new life. But there comes a time when peace is not an option, when the hand of friendship is met with violence. Her voice grew stronger. They fired on our rescue convoy. They killed our people who came offering help. They left our colonists to die. She looked at each person in the room. Earth will respond, not just with anger, but with the full measure of our strength. We will show these attackers that humanity defends its own. The decision was made. For the first time in its space-faring history, Earth would go to war. Operation Nemesis was born. In orbit around Earth, shipyards that once built exploration vessels now constructed warships. The UES Retribution, a massive battleship, took shape in the darkness of space. It would lead the fleet that would deliver humanity's response. The attack on a rescue convoy would be answered. Earth was preparing total retaliation. Earth changed almost overnight. Factories that once made cars now built ship parts. Schools became training centers. Everyone worked together with one goal, to protect humanity. Captain Noah Richards walked through the massive hangar where the UES Retribution was being completed. Workers moved around the clock, welding metal and installing systems. Noah had fought in the Mars Rebellion years ago, but this was different. This time, the enemy wasn't human. "Impressive, isn't it?" said Commander Diana Frost as she joined him. Diana was tall with dark skin and serious eyes. Her sister had been a doctor on one of the destroyed Convoy ships. "The largest warship we've ever built," Noah replied. "And we did it in just 2 months." Diana nodded. "The aliens won't expect this kind of response. They thought we were weak." Noah and Diana had been chosen to lead the Retribution. They spent their days selecting the best crew from thousands of volunteers. They needed not just soldiers but scientists, engineers, and medical staff. This would be no ordinary mission. At the Lunar Military Academy, young officers trained day and night. Lieutenant Ryan Cole ran through combat simulations with his team. They had studied the limited footage of the alien attack hundreds of times. "Their ships move in patterns," Ryan told his team. 3-point formations. "If we can predict their movements, we can target them more effectively." Ryan's girlfriend, Andrea Grant, worked in the communications department. She had made an important discovery about the alien transmissions. "Look at these patterns," she said, showing Ryan her findings. "Their signals have a rhythm, almost like music. If we can disrupt that rhythm, we might be able to jam their communications." Andrea's discovery was sent to Admiral Kelly. It would become a key part of Earth's battle plan. In a laboratory on the dark side of the moon, Dr. Carol Winters studied everything they knew about the aliens, which wasn't much. She had only blurry images from the attack and sensor readings from the damaged ships. "Their ships absorb certain light frequencies," she told her team. "This suggests their eyes might be sensitive to those same frequencies." Dr. Winters developed special light weapons that might blind or confuse the aliens in combat. Every possible advantage was needed. While Earth prepared for war, the colony at New Haven struggled to survive. Their supplies were running low. Their damaged systems barely worked. But they refused to give up hope. A message arrived from New Haven, sent by the colony's leader, Governor Stephen Harris. "We know Earth has not forgotten us. We continue to fight for survival. When you come, bring justice with you." The message strengthened Earth's resolve. This was not just about revenge. It was about saving their people. In orbit around Jupiter, Admiral Kelly assembled the fleet. Ships of all sizes gathered, 157 vessels in total. Some were large battleships like the Retribution. Others were small, fast attack craft. Together, they formed the largest military force humans had ever created. Admiral Kelly addressed the fleet captains from her command ship. Her face appeared on screens throughout the Armada. "The plan has multiple layers," she explained. "First, a small group will create a distraction. Then, the main force will move toward New Haven, while a special operations team lands on the surface to evacuate our people." The captains listened carefully. They knew the risks. The aliens had better technology, but Earth had surprise and determination on its side. On the Retribution, Noah looked at the crew manning their stations. Engineers checked weapons systems. Scientists monitored sensor arrays. Medical teams prepared for casualties. "Status report," Noah ordered. "All systems ready, Captain," Diana replied. "The fleet awaits your command." Noah took a deep breath. He thought about the doctors and aid workers who had died while trying to help others. He thought about the colonists still waiting for rescue. "Send the signal to Admiral Kelly," he said. "The Retribution is ready." Throughout the fleet, similar messages were sent. One by one, the ships of Earth reported ready for battle. Operation Nemesis was about to begin. Humanity's first interstellar war was underway. The fleet moved into position. Earth would not just fight. Earth would win. The Earth fleet approached the edge of the Proxima Centauri system silently. Their new engines left no energy trail to detect. Admiral Kelly's plan was working so far. The aliens did not know they were coming. All ships maintained radio silence. Noah ordered from the bridge of the Retribution. Use only secure laser communications. Diana studied the sensor readings at her station. We're detecting multiple alien vessels in orbit around New Haven. The colony appears intact, but there are strange structures on the surface that weren't there before. Noah frowned. The aliens have been busy. But why stay at New Haven? What do they want there? The first phase of Operation Nemesis began. Captain Victoria Rice led a small group of fast ships toward the outer asteroid belt. Her vessel, the UES Defiant, was specially equipped with devices designed by Dr. Blackwood. Activate the decoy transmitters, Victoria ordered. The devices began broadcasting signals that mimicked a large human fleet. The alien ships reacted quickly. Several of their vessels broke away from New Haven and moved toward the asteroid belt. The distraction was working. On the Retribution, Noah received Victoria's signal. Second phase beginning now, he told his crew. All ships, prepare for battle. The main Earth fleet moved toward New Haven. They used Andrea Grant's discovery to jam the alien communications. The enemy ships that remained at New Haven seemed confused, unable to coordinate their movements. They're trying to regroup, Diana reported. But our jamming is working. They can't talk to each other. Noah gave the order. All ships, engage targets. Remember your training. The space above New Haven erupted in battle. Earth ships fired missiles modified with Dr. Winter's light weapons. When they exploded near alien vessels, they released intense flashes that disrupted the aliens' vision systems. The Earth fleet was outnumbered, but they had surprise on their side. The aliens had not expected such a massive response. They had not expected humans to find their weaknesses so quickly. While the space battle raged, Major Lisa Rodriguez led her special operations team toward the surface of New Haven. Their stealth shuttles were nearly invisible to alien sensors. Stay sharp, Lisa told her team. Our primary mission is to reach the colony and evacuate survivors. Secondary mission is to gather intelligence on the enemy. Lieutenant Ryan Cole was part of the ground team. He watched through the shuttle viewport as explosions lit up the space above them. Look at our fleet go, he said with pride. They're actually pushing the aliens back. The shuttles landed near the main colony dome. The team moved out quickly, weapons ready. They encountered their first aliens on the ground. Tall, insect-like beings with 6 limbs and natural armor plating. The aliens carried energy weapons that fired green pulses of light. Take cover, Lisa shouted as alien fire struck near her position. Her team responded with precise shots, using the tactical data gathered from the space battle. Ryan coordinated their movements. Team Alpha, circle left. Team Beta, provide covering fire. The human soldiers moved with discipline and determination. They had trained for this moment. Despite the aliens' superior technology, the humans' tactics gave them an edge. Inside the colony dome, the team found survivors. Hundreds of colonists had been hiding in sealed underground shelters since the earthquake. They were thin and tired, but alive. Governor Stephen Harris greeted Lisa. "We knew Earth would come," he said, his voice hoarse. "But we didn't expect an army." The situation changed. Lisa explained quickly. "We need to evacuate everyone immediately." As the evacuation began, Ryan made a disturbing discovery in another section of the colony. The aliens had set up laboratories where they were studying human bodies. "Major, you need to see this," he called over his radio. "I think I know why they attacked us. They're not here to take our planet. They're here to study us." Meanwhile, in space, Captain Noah Richards noticed something strange about the alien mothership. It wasn't fighting like the others. It stayed back, protected by smaller vessels. "There's something important on that ship," Noah told Diana. "Something they're protecting." The battle for New Haven was just beginning. But Earth had already achieved what the aliens thought impossible. They had brought the fight to the enemy's doorstep. And they were winning. Captain Noah Richards stared at the alien mothership on his view screen. While the battle raged around them, he couldn't shake the feeling that the key to victory lay within that vessel. "Diana, "I'm going to do something risky," he said to his second-in-command. "I need a small team to board that mothership." Diana's eyes widened. "Board it? How would we even get inside?" Noah pointed to a smaller alien shuttle returning to the mothership. "We captured one of their smaller vessels intact. Dr. Blackwood's team has figured out basic controls. We can use it to approach undetected." The plan was dangerous but necessary. Noah selected a team including himself, Diana, and 6 Special Forces soldiers. They transferred to the captured alien shuttle via a secure docking tube. "The shuttle systems are responding," said the pilot, a young lieutenant named Ben Ward. "But I can't promise a smooth ride." Noah nodded. "Just get us inside their ship. We'll handle the rest." As the small team departed, command of the Retribution passed to Lieutenant Sam Miller, a steady officer with years of experience. "Continue the battle plan," Noah ordered him. "Keep their attention on you." The captured shuttle moved toward the mothership, broadcasting the identification codes they had intercepted. The alien defenses allowed them to pass, mistaking them for one of their own. Meanwhile, on New Haven's surface, Major Lisa Rodriguez and Lieutenant Ryan Cole led the colonists toward the evacuation shuttles. What they had discovered in the alien laboratories haunted them. They were dissecting humans, Ryan told the governor as they moved through underground tunnels. "Taking samples, running tests, like we were just lab animals." Governor Harris looked sick. "Why? What do they want from us?" "We don't know yet," Lisa answered. "But we're going to find out." As the evacuation continued, Ryan noticed something on his scanner. "Major, there's another alien facility 2 kilometers north. The readings suggest it's their main research center." Lisa made a quick decision. "Take Team Alpha and investigate. But be careful, priority is still evacuation." Ryan led his small team to the facility. Inside, they found more laboratories. But these were different. Larger, more sophisticated. And in the central chamber, they discovered something shocking. The aliens were not just studying humans. They were trying to become like them. "They're modifying themselves with human DNA," said Sergeant Alan Foster, the team's medical specialist. "These tubes contain hybrid tissue." Ryan took images of everything. "Earth needs to see this. This is why they attacked us. They want to use us to evolve themselves." Back in space, Noah's team successfully docked with the alien mothership. The interior was hot and humid, with strange blue light pulsing through organic-looking walls. "It's like the ship is alive," Diana whispered as they moved through the corridors. The human team used stealth technology developed by Dr. Blackwood to avoid detection. They followed the ship's power signatures toward what appeared to be a central chamber. "Energy readings are strongest through that door," said Corporal Linda Bell, their technical expert. Noah signaled the team to prepare for combat. "We go in fast. Secure the room. Find out what they're hiding." They breached the door and found themselves in a vast chamber. 9 larger aliens sat connected to organic machines. They seemed different from the soldiers. Bigger, with enlarged head structures. "These must be their leaders," Diana said. One of the aliens turned toward them. Though it couldn't see them through their stealth field, it seemed to sense their presence. "Humans," it said in a voice that somehow formed in their minds rather than their ears. "You should not be here." Noah was shocked. "You speak our language." "We learn quickly," the alien replied. "It is why we will prevail. You are resources to be used, nothing more." Diana raised her weapon. "You attacked a medical mission. You experimented on our people." The alien made a sound like harsh laughter. "You are primitive, useful only for what we can take from you." Noah activated his communication device. "Captain Richards to all Earth forces. We found their leadership council. And now we know the truth. They see us only as resources to exploit." He turned to his team. "Set the charges. We're going to show these creatures that humans are not to be underestimated." As Noah's team prepared to strike at the heart of the alien leadership, Ryan's discovery on the planet's surface was being transmitted to the fleet. Earth now knew what they were fighting against and why they had to win. Noah and his team placed devices around the alien leadership chamber. These were not bombs. They were neural disruptors designed by Dr. Winters to temporarily shut down the aliens' nervous systems. "Ready," Diana whispered. Noah activated his ship-wide communication system and connected it to the alien network. He wanted everyone to hear what came next. "Before we do this," Noah said to the alien leaders, "tell me why. Why attack a mission bringing help to people in need?" The largest alien shifted in its organic throne. "Your kind spreads like a disease across the stars. We have seen this before. Better to remove the threat early." Noah shook his head. "We were bringing medicine to our people. We had no weapons." "It does not matter," the alien replied. "Your bodies contain what we need. Your genetic structure is valuable to our evolution. The attack gave us access to human specimens." Diana's face showed disgust. "You killed innocent people to collect DNA samples." "Specimens," the alien corrected. "Not people. Tools for our advancement." Noah had heard enough. He pressed a button on his wrist device, activating the neural disruptors. The alien leaders convulsed before falling unconscious. "Secure them," Noah ordered. "We're taking them back to Earth." At the same time, Noah transmitted images of the aliens and recordings of their conversation to the entire Earth fleet. He also sent it to the alien vessels. "Let their soldiers see what their leaders really think of other species," he told Diana. On New Haven's surface, Ryan and his team finished downloading data from the alien research facility. The evidence was clear. The aliens had been experimenting on humans for weeks, treating them as test subjects rather than living beings. "All teams, complete evacuation and return to ships," Major Rodriguez ordered over the comm system. "We have what we need." Ryan led the last group of colonists to the waiting shuttles. As they lifted off, he looked back at the colony that had been their home. Despite everything, some colonists wept to leave it behind. "We'll come back," Ryan promised them. "Once this is over, we'll rebuild." In space, something unexpected happened. Several alien ships stopped fighting. Their weapons powered down. "Captain Miller, this is Admiral Kelly," came the call to the Retribution. "Are you seeing this? Some enemy vessels appear to be standing down." Sam Miller, still in command of the Retribution while Noah was on the mothership, confirmed the readings. "Yes, Admiral. It seems the transmission from Captain Richards is having an effect." The alien fleet was dividing. Some ships continued to attack, but others withdrew from the battle. Confusion spread through their ranks as the truth about their leaders' plans became known. Noah's team made it back to their shuttle with the unconscious alien leaders. As they left the mothership, they saw the battle changing around them. "It's working," Diana said. "They're fighting each other now." Not all the aliens were satisfied with their leaders' methods. Some had not known about the experiments on humans or the true reason for attacking the rescue convoy. The revelation sparked conflict within their own ranks. Admiral Kelly seized the opportunity. "All ships, focus fire on remaining hostile vessels. Offer safe passage to those who stand down." The tide of battle shifted decisively in Earth's favor. By the time Noah's team returned to the Retribution, the human fleet had gained control of the space around New Haven. "What do we do now?" Diana asked as they secured the alien leaders in a holding cell. Noah thought about all they had learned. The aliens, called the Vorax according to their own records, were not a united force. Some had blindly followed orders, believing humans were aggressors. Others had known the truth and still participated in the atrocities. "We need to understand them better," Noah decided. "Not all of them are the same. Some may be potential allies against their own leadership." On Earth, President Landry received the reports from Admiral Kelly. The battle was won, but the situation had become more complex. This was no longer simply about retaliation. It was about justice, understanding, and perhaps eventual peace. The war had reached a turning point. Earth had launched a total retaliation, but now faced a choice about what victory should look like. 3 months after the Battle of New Haven, representatives from Earth and the reformed Vorax gathered on the newly built space station Harmony. This neutral location orbited between New Haven and the nearest Vorax colony. Captain Noah Richards, now promoted to Admiral, stood beside Diana Frost as they watched the delegates enter the main conference room. Noah wore his formal uniform with new medals that recognize his actions during the conflict. "Did you ever think we would end up here?" Diana asked, "making peace instead of continuing the war?" Noah shook his head. "After what they did to our rescue convoy, I wanted revenge. But war isn't always about destroying your enemy. Sometimes it's about changing them." President Landry led the Earth delegation. Across from her sat Krefta, the new leader of the Vorax Collective. Unlike the previous leaders who had been captured, Krefta had opposed the attack on humans from the beginning. "We are ready to sign the Proxima Accords," President Landry announced. "These agreements will establish boundaries, communication protocols, and a framework for cooperation between our species." Krefta stepped forward. The tall, insect-like alien moved with grace that surprised many humans who were seeing a Vorax up close for the first time. "The actions of our former directors brought shame to our people," Krefta said, speaking through a translator device. "They saw other species only as resources to exploit. We reject their ways." The signing ceremony was broadcast throughout human space and to Vorax colonies. For many, it was hard to accept peace with the beings who had attacked a rescue mission. But the truth had changed everything. The captured Vorax leaders had revealed a frightening reality. They had been fleeing from a greater threat in their home system. A machine intelligence had nearly destroyed their civilization, forcing them to seek new territories and resources. In their desperation, they had become like the very enemy they feared. On Earth, a memorial was dedicated to those lost in the convoy attack. The names of Captain Laura Bennett, Commander Eric Daniels, Dr. Paul Martinez, and all others who had died were carved into stone brought from both Earth and New Haven. Lieutenant Ryan Cole and Andrea Grant, now married, led the first cultural exchange mission to the Vorax homeworld. They would spend a year learning Vorax language, customs, and biology, while teaching them about humans. "It's strange," Ryan said as their ship approached the alien planet. 3 months ago, I was fighting them. Now we're going to live among them." Andrea squeezed his hand. "The best way to prevent another war is to understand each other." Major Lisa Rodriguez established a joint military training program. Human tactical knowledge would be shared while they learned Vorax fighting techniques. Both species had strengths the other could benefit from. "Remember," she told her human officers, "yesterday's enemies can be tomorrow's allies, especially when there are bigger threats out there." Dr. Carol Winters worked with scientist Delegate Krefta to publish the first guide to both species biology. Their work would help doctors treat injuries and illness on both sides, saving countless lives in the future. The former directors, now prisoners on Earth, provided information about other species in the galaxy, both potential friends and dangers. Their testimony revealed that space was far more crowded and complex than humans had imagined. At the New Haven colony, rebuilding had begun. New structures rose from the ruins, designed to house both human and Vorax visitors. Governor Harris welcomed the first Vorax delegation to the planet's surface. 3 months ago, you were killing us, he said bluntly to the Vorax representative. Today, you're helping us rebuild. This is how progress happens. Admiral Noah Richards stood on the bridge of the UES Reconciliation, a new ship built specifically for joint human-Vorax missions. Its crew included members of both species working side by side. Set course for the outer system, Noah ordered. We have a defensive perimeter to establish. The ship moved away from New Haven, its human and Vorax crew working together. Earth had launched a total retaliation against those who fired on a rescue convoy. But in doing so, they had found not just an enemy, but eventually an ally in a dangerous galaxy. The mission that began with mercy had ended with understanding, and in the stars beyond, new challenges waited for both species to face together.